Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribrajacharya Ashtatarasata Sri Srimad. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Shri Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vindaki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamkund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki Vrindavan Mayapur Dham Ki Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai Ki Tulsi Maharani Bhakti Devi Ki Yoga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan Ki Shri Navadwip Mandal Parikrama Ki all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees. All glory Shri Guru Shri Gauranga, all glory Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Pralada Lada Dayane.
Pralada Lada Dayane.
Hiranyakasi Purvachaha. Tankana Kahalahi Ito Nashringa Parato Nashringa Yato Yato Yami Tato Nashringa Kamala Pare Nakamatuta Singam Dalita Heranya Kasipu Nano Primam Kesavajita Narahare Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Kesavajita Narahare Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Nrsimhade, Nrsimhade, Jaya Nrsimhade, Jaya Prahlad Jai Nrsimha Bhagwan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki. How do you like the deities? Very beautiful, very, very well done. That's the nicest fruit display I've seen for many years, really, very nice, very well done. How did you like yesterday's Shravana Utsav? Yeah, from here we'll go over to see Madan Gopal. We have to go and see the temple of Madan Gopal. We'll all go there and have darshan. Madan Gopal, the deity of Chakravarti Thakur, father of Sachimata. He's been worshipped for more than 1,000 years. Jayapataka Swami was saying yesterday. So we maintain that temple actually. So when we go there, you can all try to give some donation for the temple, help them to develop it, try to make it a bit nicer. Panchabakra Shiva. We heard a lot about Lord Shiva yesterday. There's a special tree about 5 minutes away from here. We'll pass it on the way. And Nimbarka Acharya's pastime we heard. Usually Pancharatna does one drama. So maybe we'll have that drama, I don't know. What island is it? No? This is Rudra. Yeah, we're still in Rudradwip. So we're going to go to Samantadweep. Samantadweep is the first island. It should traditionally would be the first island on Parikrama. So we're going to go to Samantadweep after leaving Rudradweep. And you heard something about Simanta Devi yesterday from His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Swami. When we go to Jagannath Mandir, you can see Simanta Devi there. We have Lord Chaitanya with Simanta Devi at the feet of Lord Chaitanya. So when you go to Jagannath Temple, don't miss to go and see Simanta Devi and Lord Chaitanya.
Actually, the Simanta Devi is supposed to be installed in Srinagar where she did the Basya, but local people were not so cooperative.
Yeah, we put the deity in our temple. There was no deity there. There's a place where Simantini Devi had appeared and had darshan of Lord Chaitanya. When we're there, we do Guru Puja at that place. And there's no deity there. And we wanted to put the deity there, but the local people were not supportive. So we put the deity in our own temple.
Then while going, maybe we go to Changazi or tomorrow we go. Then go to the
If there's time today, we'll visit Chankazi Samadhi. Otherwise, we'll have to go there tomorrow. You'll see tomorrow, though, there's a lot of parikramas going on. There's a lot of groups of people moving around. It becomes very crowded. So tomorrow is very difficult to visit places and to see anything. I have to do most of the things today. Today also we'll go to Kolaveka Sridhar. Yeah, after breakfast we'll visit Kolaveka Sridhar. So breakfast this morning will be at the Jagannath Mandir at Rajpur, our own temple, Lord Jagannath. So that breakfast will be there. And then after breakfast we go over to Kolavika Sridhar's house, or where his Shripad is. And we'll have a drama there, and we'll hear about Kolavika Sridhar. And today is also the Vyasa Puja of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. So Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, he's the spiritual master of Dhira Damodar Swami Maharaj. So Dhira Damodar Maharaj will not be coming today because he's busy there for his own Guru Maharaj's Samadhi there in Mayapur. And Kavi Chandra Swami also is going to go there for the Vyasa Puja there, Bhakti Tirtha. It's quite a big festival. Okay. So other people may want to go back for Bhakti Tirtha's Vyasa Puja. You're not very far away from Mayapur. So here's the book score.
Book distribution score.
Transcendental book distribution key.
So this is Nimai Prabhu. He's in charge he takes care of Madan Gopal deity there, and he's a disciple of Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. And he's in the family, in the line coming from Nilamba Chakravarti. His family been taking care of the deity for many generations. So he's looking, if you can help give some donations, you can give to him. Right?
There in the temple.
But we'll do it at the temple when we go over there for darshan. If you want, you can give to him just now. Huh? Yeah, we have Tulsi Puja now. Okay. Vrindaye Tulsi Devaye Priyaye Kesavashacha Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavacha Namo Namaha. Vrindaye Tulsi Devaye Priyaye Kesavashacha Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavacha Namo Namah. Vrindaye Tulasi Devaye Priyaye Kesavashacha Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavacha Namo Namah. Tulsi Maharani ki. Hare Krishna. You know, there's a lot of empty space over here. Devotees are up there. They might like to come over here. There's spaces where you could sit and where you could be comfortable. You stand up there, you block the road. Better you come inside. You can be here. So this
माइक को थोड़ा पीछे कर देने से अच्छा होता है क्योंकि ये गार्ड हो रहा है दिखाई नहीं देगा उन लोग उधर ए माइक हरिबोल माता जिसमा माता जी वो इसके साइड छोड़े दाओ घंटा इसके पीछे कर दो ना ए
हरिबोल माता जी लाइन दिस
So this is Panchabhakra Shiva. Lord Shiva, very merciful. He fulfills the desires of everyone who asks him for the service of Lord Krishna. So if you're coming here to pray to Lord Shiva, you have to ask him for the service of Lord Krishna. You need something. Panchabhakra, 5 faces. Lord Shiva has 5 faces. Say, Mahadevo Panchamukhi, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So all of his 5 faces are chanting the names of Lord Rama. Lord Shiva also told his wife, no need to chant Vishnu Sahasranam. Rame Namo Rame Sahasranam Abhistuyam Sri Rama Nama Parani. Just chant the holy name of Lord Ram. You don't need to chant all the names of Lord Vishnu. So we were up there at the temple of Madan Gopal, very ancient deity, worshipped more than 1,000 years. And now the worship is being done by ISKCON devotees. This village, Belpakor, this is, really Brahmanas living here in this village. And there were many big houses. But over the years, people moved to the city. Used to be wealthy people, they were living in places like Belpakor here. But with the industrial development, people all moved into the city. And you may find you go to the bank or in some big office or in the airport, you meet people, the big officer in the airport, you'll say, yeah, I'm from Parikrama, it's our village. Hardly they ever come here. They have big houses here, but they keep them locked up, nobody's there. But in the past, in the times of Mahaprabhu, there were many people living here in this village, Parikrama. Many brahmanas. So Nilambar Chakravarti, his home was here, and he worshipped Madan Gopal. So we heard also about Nimbaka, Nimbaditya. He got spiritual knowledge from the four Kumaras here. Nimbarka Sampradaya. The four Kumaras, they got their knowledge from Lord Sankarshan. And then they gave it to Nimbarkacharya. So Nimbarkacharya, the Nimbarka Sampradaya, they're very similar to our own line because they also recognize the position of Srimati Radharani and the importance of the gopis. If you go to Sri Vaishnava temples, you never see Radha and Krishna. Sri Vaishnavas, they don't worship Radha and Krishna. And Madhvacharya also, they're not worshipping Radha and Krishna. And we saw up here, Madan Gopal, is only Lord Krishna there. It was only from the time of Mahaprabhu that people began to put Radharani beside Lord Krishna. And that a lot of that was done by the consort of Lord Nityananda Janavadevi. When she became the Acharya, she would like to add a deity of Radharani beside the deity of Lord Krishna. But in the past, usually it was only Lord Krishna who was worshipped. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had explained more the position of Radharani. But Nimbarka Sampradaya, they also have Radha and Krishna. And they've been worshipping Radha and Krishna long time, even before the time of Mahaprabhu. It's a very ancient line, Nimbarka Sampradaya. So the pastime was here, where the Nimbaditya got the knowledge. He met the four Kumaras. So, Pancharatna, who's doing the drama? Pancharatna said he wanted to do drama first. It's not here. No. Huh? He's on the way. Okay. Anyway, Brajavilas Prabhu is here. Brajavilas Prabhu would like to speak to all of us.
Thank you so very much, Maharaj.
Brajavilas Prabhu for telling us about the development, POVP. And we hope next year he's going to open the temple on Prabhupada's disappearance. Right? Brajavilas, you're committed. You promised us next year, Prabhupada disappearance. We're going to see POVP open.
Yes! Haribol!
Raghunath is giving his word to Lord Shiva here.
Actually, Lord Shiva is only helping me to do it.
Prabhu's working hard, doing nice. Okay, so.
Amishar, give him one Gopal Krishna Maharaj gold medallion.
Okay, all right. So we're going to go. We have to walk. Jagannath Mandir. Maybe. At least next Katha will be at the Jagannath Mandir. Okay, Guru Puja is going to be in Jagannath Mandir.
Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Shri Guru Narana Padma Kevana Bhakti Satma. Padma Kevana Bhakti Satma.
Will strike Krishna? Let it be very helpful.
Okay, okay, Hare Krishna.
Hey, mic on.
Hare Krishna, mic on.
One will.
Hare Krishna. So this is the place where Sridhar was living.
How many of you first time?
How many been here before? How many not been here before? Okay. Most of you been here before. So Sridhar was living here. Sridhar was a poor Brahmana. Brahmanas are supposed to be poor. Right? Kali Yuga were not good Brahmanas. They just pretend to be Brahmanas. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So Kolaveka Sridhar was living here. He was very poor. His home was broken down. There were holes in the roof. He didn't have nice cloth to wear. It was ragged cloth. He was living here and he was chanting the holy name constantly. The holy name was his constant companion. He was always chanting, and his chanting was a problem for the neighbors. He was chanting, he didn't chant quietly. He didn't chant in his mind. He chanted loudly. Yes, I hope you chant your japa like that too. Yeah. So Kolaveka Sridhar liked it. He chanted japa a lot. Nimai Pandit's home, the yoga pit. It's a walking distance from here. So Nimai Pandit would regularly come and buy things from Kolaveka Sridhar. You know, if you have Kolaveka Sridhar, his land was just some banana trees. Banana trees. You can see people plant banana trees quite a lot of places. The banana tree is very useful. You get banana fruits, you get banana flowers, you have banana leaves, you have banana trunk. There's every different part of the banana is very useful. Yeah. Some people, they will only take the food off a banana leaf. It's very healthy. There's a special substance on the leaf of the banana. And when you take your food with that, it gives you a lot of health, good health. So there are people in this area around Bengal, it's common, not only Bengal, South India also, banana leaf. They will only take their food from the banana leaf. It's very nice. You know, we have terrible habits. We use things like, they were using styrofoam for some time. We don't see that so much now, fortunately. But, you know, banana leaf is the natural thing to eat your food from. So Kolaveka Sridhar had some banana trees, he had some banana fruits, and he was selling them, making some living. And whatever income he got, he would always spend 50% to worship Mother Ganga. And he was not worshipping Mother Ganga for anything material. Often people think you worship Mother Ganga to get some material blessing. But Kolaveka Sridhar was a pure devotee, and he was worshipping Mother Ganga to get pure devotion. Just like we worship Tulsi Maharani. We're praying to Tulsi, I beg you, make me a follower of the cowherd damsels of Braja. Please give to me the privilege of devotional service. Make me your own maidservant. This very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna prays, may I always swim in love for Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. So in the same way, Sridhar was worshipping Mother Ganga and he was praying for pure devotion. So one day it happened, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving blessings to his different devotees. We heard that 21 hours he was sitting on the altar at the home of Srivas Thakur. He was sitting on the altar of Lord Vishnu, and he called different devotees forward and he told them about different instances, how he had come and how he helped them. He told Haridas Thakur that when he was being beaten, actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I was taking the beatings. He said, they were beating you, but it was I was taking the beating on my body. Not, and then he told Srivas about how the Muslims were coming. He was afraid, and the Lord told Srivas, you don't have to worry. I will always protect you, that even if they take you to court, I will come to court and testify against them and prove to them that you have done nothing wrong. So Lord Chaitanya was revealing himself to the different devotees, and at one point he told the devotees, bring Sridhar here. And the devotees looked at each other and said, who? Sridhar? Who's that? They didn't even know who Sridhar was. Lord Chaitanya had to tell them where to go. You have to go, there were no roads, there was only some paths, mud paths, dirt paths, and fields. Lord Chaitanya had to go, tell them, come over to that area, you'll see there's a little broken house there, and you will hear his loud chanting of the holy names. So in this way the devotees were searching, and sure enough they came to one house. They found this area and they could see there was one very broken down ramshackle house, and they could hear the chanting of the holy name from inside. So they brought Sridhar. They said, come, Lord Gauranga wants you to come. He's calling you, you have to come. So Sridhar came with them because he'd remembered Lord Chaitanya from his childhood. As a young boy, Lord Chaitanya would always come and argue with Sridhar about the price of his bananas. You know, Sridhar would ask the common price, and Nimai would say to him, oh, you're cheating me. I'm a Brahmana. If you cheat me, you're going to go to hell for cheating me. And Sridhar would say, no, I'm not cheating. I'm giving you the common price. This is the price of bananas in the market. Everywhere. And Nimai would argue, no, you're cheating me. You're trying to take advantage of me. And Nimai would just argue and argue. And Sridhar would eventually become so tired of arguing with him and say, just take them. Just pay me what you like. Just get out of here. Give me peace so that I can go back to my chanting. Lord Chaitanya, as Nimai Pandit, he would enjoy playing these kind of tricks with Sridhar, testing him and arguing with him about the price of the different fruits and flowers which he was selling. So Kulaveka Sridhar had been brought by the devotees to go to Srivasi's house, Srivasangam there. And when he got to Srivasangam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced Sridhar to all the devotees. And he said to Sridhar, Sridhar, you are very poor. Look at your cloth, it's all ragged. And look at you, you're so frail and thin, you never get proper food, and your house is all broken down. He said, I want to give you some blessings. Please, you ask any blessing from me, and I will fulfill whatever you want. And Sridhar looked at Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, yes, I want to remain as I am. I want to continue as I'm doing. He said, whatever income I get, I always must spend 50% to worship Mother Ganga. He said, every day I will do this. And I'm happy in this way. Lord Chaitanya said, Sridhar, look, you're so poor. I'm willing to give you great wealth. I'll give you land. I'll give you wives, beautiful wives. I'll give you treasure. And Sridhar said, no, why I should want these things? Whatever I'm destined to get, I get by the grace of the Lord. The bird lives in his home in the tree. He has his nest in the tree. And the king lives in his palace. Everyone is suffering and enjoying according to their past deeds. Why I should be worried about myself? He said, whatever I'm destined to get, it's the arrangement of the Lord. I don't need to take anything, I don't need to change anything. He said, I'm happy, I'm satisfied as I am. I just want to continue. So Lord Chaitanya appreciated very much this mood of devotion. Srila Prabhupada also writes nectar of instruction about the duties of devotees. And he talks that devotees, they're also meant to give, grihastas are meant to give 50% of their income. Of course, people will say, well, I don't have enough income hardly of myself. I can't maintain, how can I give 50%? So we have to understand it in different ways. 50%, it can mean at the time of retirement, just as Rupa Goswami, when he retired, he had a lot of wealth and he divided his wealth. 50% for the service of the Vaishnavas and Brahmanas, 25% for family members, and 25% for emergencies. Of course, Rupa Goswami was a very, very wealthy man. He had so much wealth it could fill a boat. So he could do like that. Ordinary people, common people don't have a lot of wealth. Generally, they're paid only just enough to survive. And some people are always struggling just to maintain their lives. But still, it's a duty of grihastas that they should give some charity. They should do some charity. And whatever... we could say this rule of giving 50%, it applies to people who are wealthy, who have some good amount of wealth. Then they should give that. They should do like that. And this way it would solve a lot of the problems which our temples may have in maintaining the financial condition. Of course, people get too much money, they waste it. They don't know how to use it properly. They get money and they'll squander it in different ways, when they could be using it for Krishna consciousness. So Kolaveka Sridhar shows by his own example that he was giving 50% to worship Mother Ganga. So Lord Chaitanya appreciated very much his mood of devotion, and so it happened that when Lord Chaitanya led the Sankirtan movement, as we just saw, he organized a civil protest against the Chandkazi, and they had a huge procession, and Lord Chaitanya was dancing, and Haridas Thakur was also dancing, leading different parts of the procession. But when Lord Chaitanya came, he brought the procession past the house of Sridhar. He came into this area and he came past the house of Sridhar, and outside the door of Sridhar's house there was one copper pot which was there for, washing your feet. Because 500 years ago nobody had shoes to wear. People were most people, and common people, walking barefooted. And before going into the house, you wash your feet. So he had this pot there with water for washing the feet. And it was not copper, it was an iron pot. And he was sitting at the door of the house of Sridhar. And Lord Chaitanya came by with the Sankirtan party, and he picked up that pot. And when he picked up that pot, then Sridhar became very worried. No, put it down! Sridhar was worried. But Lord Chaitanya took the pot and he began to drink the water. So Sridhar was mortified. He didn't want that. But Lord Chaitanya declared, this is nectar. He thought, this is the nectar of my devotees. So this was the pastime which took place here with Lord Chaitanya and Kolaveka Sridhar. Right? So we have Pancharatna here with us. We're going. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, you ready?
Угодите гуру и Кришне, а преданным нельзя угодить. Надо Богу и Кришне служить, а не каждому. Так у вас, скажут, ученик какого перевода нет. Знаете, куда в тебе было переводить? Не придут? Сейчас придут. Вот это ваше? Мами! Много пленных.
क्या करोगी? नहीं नहीं पी लूँ आ रहा हूँ
Нам какие-то бананы принесли, жирные ящики, мочаренную кашу в ящиках с бананами. Будет подниматься интересное мероприятие банановое попозже.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, this Brahmana is ruining the quality of our neighborhood.
Oh, I've heard my neighbors are a little
The hunger pains in his belly
Yes, well, Hare Krishna,
cause
Hare
him
Krishna,
to
Krishna
make such
Krishna,
loud
Hare
noises
Rama,
day
Hare
and
Rama,
night,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
disturbing
Hare
our
Krishna, Hare
meditation
Krishna,
and
Hare
watching
Krishna, Hare
Bollywood movies.
Hare Krishna. Sir, I'm sorry. I don't mean to disturb you, but my life is for Krishna.
Но моя жизнь вся посвящена Кришне.
You say your life is for Krishna. Who is this Krishna?
Lord, He's the source of everything.
Но мы его каждый день,
And I chant His holy name.
когда воспеваем.
It is my wealth.
Well, that kind of wealth giving you a lot of hunger pains in your belly, you know. Why don't you go and get a job? Maybe you should give up being a Brahmana and take do an ordinary, put some honest living.
I do what I can. I'll just chant the holy names. If I get anything, it is the grace of the Lord. But I will try to chant
Но я буду
soft.
воспевать потише.
Is that okay?
Well, we would appreciate, it's certainly a disturbance. You know, I can't sleep at night hearing you chant all night.
All right, I will try. But tonight, I will chant softly
Хорошо,
and pray. but again tomorrow.
And can you repair your home? Your house is giving our neighborhood a bad reputation.
Well, if that young boy would simply pay me the right price, then actually I might be able to do that. So let me try again today.
You got so many bananas here. Why don't you go to the market and try and do
Well,
something?
I have one customer whom I expected, and maybe he will give me the greatest wealth. Oh, he's coming. All right, let me prepare. Now today, Nimai, thank you for coming again. We have a great sale today. We have acquired the most delicious, the best bananas that you can offer to Gopal. And the price, special price today. Yesterday, you said, all right, 1 rupee was too much, so I am going to give it to you for 50 paisa.
Too much. Every day you worship the Ganga. Why don't you just give me something for free? I'm the father of Ganga.
Father of the Nima, you're a Brahmin. You can't say things like that. That's blasphemy. No, Nima, please. But I have a suggestion. Every day we're doing this, right? You're coming, I'm offering you, you're bargaining, we hassle, it goes back and forth, finally I give it to you. Let's just make a deal. You can come every day.
So this is the ISKCON Jagannath Mandir. This temple was donated to us some few years after Srila Prabhupada had departed from the world. One elderly man was maintaining the temple on his own and he couldn't do it. He was preparing to leave the world, so he decided he would give the temple to ISKCON. And the temple was quite different thing. We've developed a lot since that time. And of course, recently, a few years back, we added the Simantini and Lord Gauranga temple, which is behind. But there are many pastimes here with Lord Jagannath. When Pankajangari Prabhu was with us, he would always like to come and tell us all the Leela of Lord Jagannath which took place. Pankajangari Prabhu, of course, he departed from the world during the COVID epidemic. We're fortunate that his brother Chananivas is still with us. Anyway, these Jagannath deities are very, very powerful. You want to definitely pray to them and they can bless you with great spiritual progress. So on the way here, we passed the place where Simantini appears. But this island is Navadwip. And in Navadwip, the process is hearing, yes, Shravanam. So, Shravanam, very important for us. And we're very fortunate. We have a very senior devotee with us to tell us about Shravanam. Rukmini Krishna Maharaj. He's an important man. He just got a call. Anyway, Navadwip. This is where we're meant to begin the Parikrama. We should have come here on the first day. And nearby is the Chankasi Samadhi. We're going to see later today the drama about Chankasi. The Samadhi of Chankasi was important. When Bhaktivinoda Thakur was establishing the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as being here in Mayapur, the evidence from the Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita were used to prove that the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to be here. It had to be on this side of the Ganga. And one of the places which is mentioned is Chankasi's house. So Chankasi Samadhi is there. And at the Chankasi Samadhi, you'll see there are two trees growing. One is the Champaka tree and one is the Neem tree. So Champak was the nickname of the Chankasi. And the Neem tree, Neem, of course that's from Lord Chaitanya, Nimai. He is born under the Neem tree. At the Yoga Peak, you'll see they have a Neem tree growing there at the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya, that's in Navadwip, and we will be passing there tomorrow. It's unlikely we'll be able to get in because there's so many people going around on Parikrama that most of the temples are full. And we're a lot of people, so difficult for all of us to get inside any one place. Yeah, the Gaudiya Math temples, they begin their Parikrama tomorrow. So you'll see tomorrow Parikramas everywhere, and you'll be hearing them and seeing them. You have to be very careful you don't get lost. And tomorrow morning, by the way, we have to be back in Mayapur by 8 a.m. So there won't be any time really to have kathas tomorrow morning. I doubt it. When we will be starting from here, from the Jagannath Mandir tomorrow morning, and we have to walk to Mayapur, to the Sammelan, and all the 14,000 Parikrama participants will be coming, and we'll have a Sammelan, we'll have a Maha Sankirtan there in Mayapur. Yeah. Some devotees have already begun leaving because they have to get back to Delhi, back to their jobs and things. So by tomorrow also numbers will be losing some people. Of course, and after the Parikrama, a lot of people just go back home. But if you're able to stay around, then it's very nice. There's always a lot of things taking place, a lot of katha, a lot of kirtan. So anyway, tomorrow we will be walking back to Mayapur, and we'll pass the Yoga Peeth. We'll also pass the Chaitanya Mat, at the Chaitanya Mat, there are the deities of Gandharvika, Giridhari, which were established there by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and there's also the Samadhi of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. So it's very nice. We always go in there. We will go in and we can offer our obeisances at the Samadhi of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. And there's also the Samadhi of Srila Gaur-Kishore Das Babaji. It's also there in the grounds of the Chaitanya Mat. So those are important places for us. We will go into the Chaitanya Mat and hope to have darshans there, and then we'll go on to Mayapur. And also on the way you'll see the house of Srivas Thakur, Srivas Pandit. And in the house of Srivas Pandit, it was there Lord Chaitanya was having his nocturnal kirtan. And it was there where the Chankazi had come. The Chankazi had come and broke the Madanga drum. So that place is there on the way back to Mayapur, the house of Srivas Pandit. We will also see the other house of Advaita Acharya and also Gadadhar Pandit, which are both there, replicas of their houses are there, near to the Yogapeeth, near to the house of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we will be passing these things on the way back to Mayapur, but we'll also pass the house of Murari Gupta. We spoke about Murari Gupta a day or two ago, and we told about Murari Gupta and how he was a great devotee of Lord Ramachandra. So there's a temple there at the place where Murari Gupta was residing. So our temple, the ISKCON temple, it's not in the Antadvip. It's on at the border of. Well, Prabhu says Panchatattva temple is half in Ritudvip and half in. He says half is in Antadvip and half is in Ritudvip. So Prabhupada said, actually, he said, our temple, he said their temple may be the Janmastan, but our temple is the Karmastan. We're doing the work of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that's why Mayapur is the world champions in book distribution. This is the real work of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, distributing books everywhere. So, Simantadvip here, we heard yesterday from Bhakti Purushottam Swami. He told us about Simantini, how she appeared, how she had darshan of Lord Gauranga, that she was lamenting that her job is just to bewilder the living entities and keep them entangled in the material world. But Lord Gauranga told her that no, actually you're there in the spiritual world. And in the spiritual world you are known as Purnamasi. So you are there in the spiritual world, taking part in my eternal pastimes. And so here in this world, you're doing service by bewildering the conditioned souls into material sense enjoyment. This is your service. So Simantini Devi was happy to know that she also had a place with the Lord in the spiritual world. And she was blessed with the dust from the lotus feet of Lord Gauranga, and she took that dust and put it in the parting in her hair, which is the Simantini. So this island became known as Navadwip. So this is the place of hearing. Rukmini Krishna Prabhu is here now. He's going to tell us about hearing. Thank you very much, Rukmini Krishna Prabhu. We were remembering when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada was giving initiation to our own founder Acharya, Srila Abhaycharan Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. At that time when he came for initiation and he was introduced to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, at that time Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, "Oh yes, I have noted him. He likes to hear." So you want to be recognized by your spiritual master. Sometimes devotees say like that. They say, I would like to somehow please my spiritual master and let him recognize me. So this is a nice way to be recognized by your spiritual master. If he sees that you like to hear, it's very good. Not very easy, but very, very important for all of us. I remember also, Prabhu was speaking about how we need to hear. When I was in the USA, we would do Sankirtan, and we would go out on book distribution. And we would be out all day, and the temple authorities would tell us, you don't need to come for the evening program. You're doing book distribution, that's more important. But when Srila Prabhupada saw that we were not coming for the evening program, and when he was told that we were out selling books all night, Srila Prabhupada said, that's not good. He said all the devotees should come for the evening program. So he said we're not a business that you have to go out just to make more money. Yes, we encourage book distribution, but we do not sacrifice our hearing and chanting just so that we can distribute more books. The foundation of our hearing and chanting, very important, and then the book distribution will be effective. So, very important for us to also develop that taste for hearing. So our daily program in the temple is very helpful for that. And some people say they don't like to read, but if they hear, if you're hearing the class, that is as good as reading. Because when we hear lectures just like just now, then we're hearing from people who have studied the scriptures and they're presenting points based on the scriptures. It's nothing manufactured. It's all authorized information we're hearing. So it's as good as reading the books. Hearing from the devotees. Actually, one devotee asked Prabhupada about what's better, is that is it better to just sit and read yourself, or is it better to be with a devotee, to be with a senior devotee? And a senior devotee is preaching to us and explaining the scriptures to us. And Prabhupada said, yes, better to be with the devotee and hear from him. So that will be even better than just you sitting on your own and reading. So devotee asked Prabhupada, why? And Prabhupada said, because that devotee, he will pull your ear. He will pull your ear to make you hear carefully and to make sure you understand. We can sit and have the book open. We may be reading, or we may be reading ourselves what we remember. Oh, what did I read? Oh, I don't remember. But if you're with somebody and if he's really got your attention, you will remember what we hear. You know, often, as we say, it goes in the ears, so we can hear a lot, but often it goes in one ear, it goes out the other ear. We don't retain a lot. That's one of our problems. We need to, it shouldn't just go in the ear, it should go to the heart. That is the point. That if the sound vibration goes to the heart, then that will purify us. So that's very, very important for us. Okay? So,
Hare Krishna. Sorry, Maharaj. I didn't have much time to prepare, but
thank you very much, Prabhu. So now we're going to hear from Mohan Rupa Prabhu. But before we hear from Mohan Rupa Prabhu, I have one request. You know, tomorrow being the final day of Parikrama, there's always a competition between the different parties. And each party, they will decorate their deity, and they will have an award, and they'll give an award for the party whose deities they've decorated the deities the nicest. So tomorrow we want to decorate Nitai Padakamala. So we need some Lakshmi. They need some, you know, they're spending a lot of money, you can see every day, beautiful flowers, and today, a lot of fruit. So tomorrow, there's a lot of work to be done. We want to decorate the deity, we make a very nice arrangement, and we need some donations for this purpose. So, who should begin? Okay, so Srivas Govinda Prabhu, Srivas Gopal Prabhu is the one to give the donation to for the deity, and we will see the money is all used for the deity. Srivas Gopal. Okay, so Mohan Rupa Prabhu is going to speak to us about Srivas Pandit, telling us the glories of Srivas Thakur. So that we'll see, we pass the house of Srivas tomorrow when we're walking to Mayapur. What we're going to do now yoga. Okay, so we will also pass the Yoga Pit tomorrow, the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya. I don't know, maybe many of you didn't have the opportunity to go to the Yoga Pit on the day of the Adivas. Adivas was performed the day before we began the Parikrama. But we did the Adivas this year, we did it in our own car park. But that morning, the morning of the Adivas, we did go for Panchakrosa Parikrama. every Ekadasi I was explaining, Lord Chaitanya performed Panchakrosa Parikrama. This year there will also be Panchakrosa Parikrama on Ekadasi, this year also. So, we're going back to Mayapur the day before Ekadasi. The next day, in the morning, Panchakrosa Parikrama takes about 3 hours. We went 6 o'clock, we were back by 9 o'clock. So, those of you who are in good health and like to walk, you can go for the Panchakrosa Parikrama on Ekadasi morning. Now, we go to the Yoga Peeth. The Yoga Peeth is in Antardvip, and it's in the center of Antardvip. Yoga Peeth, it means the place, it's called Yoga. Yoga means union. It's a place where the Lord comes into this world. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifests himself at the Yoga Peeth. So it's a very special place. And it's said that 5,000 years ago, Lord Brahma had committed some misbehavior. He had seen Lord Krishna with the cowherd boys, and he was thinking, how could this cowherd boy be my Lord and Master? And he thought, I want to see some of his powers, and let's see if he's really the Supreme Lord. So Lord Brahma stole away the cows and the cowherd boys and left Lord Krishna alone in Vrindavan without any cows or cowherd boys. So Lord Krishna could understand this is the work of Lord Brahma. And Lord Krishna, in order to not to allow the people of Vrindavan to feel too much distress on being separated from the cowherd boys and the cows, Lord Krishna expanded himself to replace all the cows and the cowherd boys. So all the cows and cowherd boys were all expansions of Lord Krishna. So this was actually an offense. For a period of 1 year, it had gone on like this, because one moment of Brahma's time is 1 year on this planet. So 1 year later, Lord Brahma came back, and he was surprised to see all the cows and cowherd boys, because he was thinking he had hidden them. So then Lord Krishna revealed how he was actually there. It was actually him. Lord Brahma saw the super soul in all the different forms, and he saw how they were all actually Lord Krishna. Lord Brahma became bewildered. Then Lord Brahma realized he committed a great offense, and he contemplated to himself why he had done such an offensive thing, taking away Krishna's association. So Lord Brahma thought how he could atone for that, and he thought how the Lord would come in the Kali Yuga, how the Lord would come here in Navadwip. And so Lord Brahma went to the place which is the Yoga Peeth. 5,000 years ago, Lord Brahma had gone there, and he had chanted the holy name of Lord Gauranga. And Lord Gauranga appeared to Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma confessed, he said, because I am the first person in the universe, because I'm superior of all the demigods, I sometimes think I'm the supreme. He said, I become very proud. So he said, he requested the Lord, please give me a birth in your next incarnation. Please give me a birth in your incarnation in Kali Yuga, which will make me humble. So the Lord told Lord Brahma that in the Kali Yuga you will take birth in a non-Hindu family, and you will constantly chant the holy name. And people will not be very happy with you for it. Some people, the Hindu people may recognize you as a great saint, but you will be born in a Mohammedan family, and the Mohammedan people will condemn you for chanting the names of Lord Krishna. So anyway, in this way Lord Brahma took birth and he became Haridas Thakur in Chaitanya Lila. So Haridas Thakur chanted the holy name of the Lord, 3 times a day, and played a nice role in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this took place at the Yoga Peak. Lord Brahma did his tapasya there 5,000 years ago. And then 500 years ago, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared there. And at that time, all of the demigods also came and welcomed the Lord and offered prayers to the Lord. So there's a replica of the house of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata, and there's a replica of the neem tree which was under their house, because there was a neem tree growing there under the house of, over the house of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata. There was one neem tree. And the name Nimai was given to the baby because Mother Sachi had had a number of miscarriages. And the people wanted to protect the child, so they gave the child the name Nimai, because the neem leaf is antiseptic. And they thought it will protect the child from any evil influences. So in this way Lord Chaitanya got the name Nimai. Later on he was also given the name Vishwambar, one who maintains the universe. So this is all at the Yoga Peak. At the Yoga Peak, there's also a small temple to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Prabhupada did not like that. He said, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is not the doorkeeper. He thought it was not appropriate to put a small temple there honoring Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He said, he is not simply a doorkeeper. Also in the Chaitanya Mat, you'll see they have a replica of Govardhan Hill, and they have also Radha Kund. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada created these things there in the grounds of the Chaitanya Mat. So tomorrow when we're going, we will pass there and you can see these places. Maybe it will be difficult to go into the Yoga Peak. Inside the Yoga Peak they also have other deities. They have a deity of Gaur Gadadhar. The deities at the back of the temple at the Yoga Peak, Gaur Gadadhar, were originally worshipped by the wife of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And they were brought there and put there at the Yoga Peak. And there's also a deity of Lord Nrsimhadev there. So, and also at the Yoga Peak, they also have the Shiva Lingas. Now if you go here, just at the side here, we have also a Shiva Linga here, which was worshipped on Shivratri. But we have there's one big banyan tree, and there's one Shiva Linga there. And at the Yoga Peak, they also have Shiva Linga there. We have 2 Shiva Lingas there at the Yoga Peak. And the custom is when we do Parikrama, we get permission from Lord Shiva. And we usually go to the deity there at the Yoga Peak and ask permission. So when we complete the Parikrama, you can also thank Lord Shiva when we're going past there. Alright? So now we're going to have Pancharatna Prabhu. He's going to give some dramatical presentation for us. We have 3 dramas going today. 4 dramas. We're going over now to the home of Srivas Thakur, just across the field. 5-minute walk. Sridhar Angam. No, Sridhar Angam. Follow Vekar Sridhar over the field here. 5 minutes. And another drama there.
Hare Krishna.
Mike Tower, the face of Gurudev.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. हरे कृष्णा। आज का प्रश्न उत्तर सत्र शुरू हो रहा है, तो भक्तों से प्रार्थना पंडाल में आ सकते हैं। स्टार्टिंग द क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन, devotees may kindly come to the pandal area. Hare Krishna Maharaj, the first question devotee asked, why there are no schools in ISKCON? Even some are there, they are not running very good. Only Vrindavan, Mayapur are doing good. तो भक्त का प्रश्न है कि ISKCON में स्कूल क्यों नहीं है, और अगर हैं तो बहुत ज्यादा चल नहीं रहे। वृंदावन मायापुर में ही ज्यादा अच्छा स्कूल हैं।
Well, it takes some time to establish these things, and it takes also some donors to give financial support.
तो महाराज बता रहे इसमें कुछ समय लगता है इस तरह के इंस्टीट्यूशंस को स्थापित करने के लिए, और इसमें कुछ डोनर्स का भी मदद चाहिए होता है ताकि उतना धनराशि हो ये प्रोजेक्ट्स के लिए।
But there are plans to have more and more schools, and certainly it's an important part of the development of our Krishna conscious community.
लेकिन अभी और ज्यादा प्लान है कि और स्कूल बनाए जाएं, क्योंकि ये हमारे कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस कम्युनिटी का एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण अंग है। The devotee has asked, Prabhu, we request the devotees to be kindly silent, those who are in the certificate line. So the devotee has asked, is everything planned by Krishna? Is our desire also Krishna's desire? तो भक्त का प्रश्न है कि क्या सब कुछ कृष्ण ही प्लान करते हैं, जो हमारी जो इच्छाएं हैं वो भी क्या भगवान ही दे रहे हैं?
Well, Krishna gives you free will. You have independence. You can desire. Krishna can allow you to desire according to your own desires. It's not that Krishna forces that you have to desire everything he wants. He gives you that free will. So you can choose between Krishna and Maya.
तो महाराज बता रहे हैं कि भगवान हमें अपनी फ्री विल यानी कि अपनी स्वतंत्रता देते हैं कि हम किस तरह की इच्छाएं रखना चाहते हैं, और हम कृष्ण में अथवा माया में से चूज कर सकते हैं। कृष्ण हमें फोर्स नहीं करते।
So there has to be some free will, otherwise there's no real love without free will.
तो ये स्वेच्छा स्वतंत्रता जरूरी है, अन्यथा इसके बिना जो असली प्रेम है वो नहीं आ पाएगा।
Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj. I want to contribute to this mission of Srila Prabhupada for whole life. How can I? Sometime I am too fatigued with management and sometime I want to be independent and self-centered. So भक्त का प्रश्न है कि मैं इस शिला प्रभुपाद जी के मिशन में पूरा जीवन सहयोग करना चाहता हूँ, लेकिन ये मैनेजमेंट की चीज़ों से मैं कई बार बहुत थक जाता हूँ और कभी इंडिपेंडेंट होने का भी इच्छा होता है.
Well, you want to be independent and self-centered. That's not exactly in line with Krishna consciousness, is it?
तो महाराज बता रहे कि इंडिपेंडेंट होना या फिर अपने में रहना, ये कृष्ण भावना मित की जो दिशा है उस दिशा के अनुकूल नहीं है.
Yeah, we do have independence. Krishna does give us marginal independence. The independence is to choose between Krishna and Maya.
तो हमारे
when you choose Maya, then you go into Maya.
तो हमारे पास कुछ इंडिपेंडेंस है, मार्जिनल इंडिपेंडेंस, थोड़ा इंडिपेंडेंस है. तो भगवान हमें ये इंडिपेंडेंस देते हैं कि हम कृष्ण या माया में से किसी को चूज करें, और अगर हम माया चूज करते हैं तो फिर हम माया में चले जाते हैं.
When you say self-centered, well, we have to understand who is the real self. That our real self is a part and parcel of Lord Shri Krishna.
तो आपने सेल्फ सेंटर्ड होने की बात कही, तो हमें ये समझना पड़ेगा कि असली स्वयं कौन है. जो हमारा खुद है वो भगवान का पार्ट एंड पार्सल है, भगवान का अंग है.
So we're thinking ourselves as a body, then that's very wrong.
अगर हम अपने आप को शरीर समझ रहे हैं तो ये फिर बहुत गलत है.
We have to understand our spiritual identity and our eternal relationship with Lord Krishna.
हमें अपना आध्यात्मिक स्वरूप को समझना होगा कि हमारा भगवान से क्या संबंध है.
So being self-centered, we have to understand that the real self is a part of Lord Shri Krishna, and center ourselves in that way that He is the master and we are His servants.
तो असली जो इसका समझ है वो ये है कि परम भगवान कृष्ण जो है वो हमारे स्वामी हैं और हम उनके सेवक हैं. ये इसका उचित अंडरस्टैंडिंग है. थैंक यू महाराज. डिवोटी हैज आस्क्ड, if a devotee does book distribution whole life and if still he has material desires, what would be his destination, whether he will go back to Godhead or not? तो एक भक्त अगर पूरे जीवन भर पुस्तक वितरण करता है लेकिन उनके अंदर भौतिक इच्छाएं अभी भी बनी हुई हैं, तो क्या वो भगवत धाम जा पाएंगे इस जीवन में?
Well, we can never give up desire. Desires are always going to be there, but that doesn't mean that we won't go back to Godhead.
तो महाराज बता रहे कि इच्छाएं हमारे अंदर हमेशा ही रहेगा, लेकिन इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि हम भगवत धाम में नहीं जा पाएंगे.
Desires have to be controlled. Yeah, you have some desire, but you can control the desire, so that's all right.
तो इच्छाएं तो हैं, लेकिन इच्छाओं को हमें नियंत्रण करना होगा, तो ये सही है, इसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है.
And you're engaging in book distribution, so that's very noble. It's a very valuable service.
और आप पुस्तक वितरण की सेवा कर रहे हो, ये तो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण सेवा है.
Because you're preaching about devotional service to the conditioned souls.
क्योंकि आप बद्ध जीवात्माओं को भगवान की भक्ति से जोड़ रहे हैं.
In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, "Na chatasman manusheshu kaschan me priyakritamaha." There's no one more dear to me than that person who is teaching devotional service to others.
भगवद गीता में परम भगवान बताते हैं कि मुझे उस व्यक्ति से ज़्यादा और प्रिय कोई भी नहीं है जो ये भक्ति का मार्ग दूसरे को प्रचार करता है.
So by distributing books, you're doing this very valuable service.
तो आप जो पुस्तक वितरण का सेवा कर रहे हैं, बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण सेवा है.
And certainly at the end of life, if you continue to do it to the end of life, certainly Krishna will take care of you.
और इस तरह से अगर आप जीवन के अंत तक ये सेवा करते रहेंगे तो भगवान आपका जरूर ध्यान रखेंगे.
Because you're doing a service which is very dear to Lord Krishna.
क्योंकि आप वो सेवा कर रहे हैं जो कि भगवान को बहुत प्रिय है. थैंक यू महाराज. Is great devotee have lolum or desire to serve from the starting, or it is developed gradually, and how can it be developed? If we are suffering from lust, can we become brahmachari in that case by thinking that by bhakti it can be controlled? तो भक्त का प्रश्न है कि जो महान भक्त होते हैं उनकी जो तीव्र इच्छा है, लौल्यम है सेवा करने की, क्या वो शुरू से होती है या धीरे धीरे करके बनती है? और दूसरा कि अगर हम काम से पीड़ित हैं तो क्या ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं कि ये सोचते हुए कि भक्ति से सब ठीक हो जाएगा?
Yes, loyam can be developed by practicing devotional service.
महाराज बता रहे हैं कि भक्ति की विधि को पालन करने से हम लौल्यम उत्पन्न कर सकते हैं.
You engage in the process of bhakti yoga, hearing and chanting, and we will go on and develop more and more greed for devotional service.
तो आप भक्ति योगा की जो गतिविधि हैं, श्रवण कीर्तन, इसमें जब आप लगे रहेंगे तो और ज़्यादा लौल्यम, ग्रीड, लालच वो पैदा हो जाएगा भक्ति के लिए.
We have to really want to develop love of Krishna.
तो हमें सच में चाहना होगा भगवान का प्रेम, कृष्ण प्रेम.
So love for Krishna is developed by having that kind of greed, and that kind of greed is cultivated in stages, like we have sadhana bhakti, and then bhava bhakti and prema bhakti.
तो महाराज बता रहे हैं कि कृष्ण प्रेम के लिए इस तरह का लौल्यम बहुत आवश्यक है, और इसको सीढ़ी की तरह एक एक कदम करके हम आगे बढ़ते हुए बढ़ा सकते हैं, जैसे कि साधना, फिर भाव भक्ति, फिर प्रेम भक्ति.
And if you practice brahmacharya life, then yes, definitely will help you to conquer over your lusty desires.
और यदि आप ब्रह्मचारी जीवन का पालन करना चाहते हैं तो हाँ, आपको अपने काम वासनाओं पर तो नियंत्रण करना होगा.
The nature of the material body is such that conditioned souls will have lusty desires.
तो हमारी जो भौतिक शरीर है उसका स्वभाव ऐसा है कि हमारे अंदर काम वासनाएं होंगी.
But these desires can be purified in Krishna consciousness.
आप इन इच्छाओं को शुद्धिकरण कर सकते हो भक्ति में.
And you practice brahmachari life. You practice regularly controlling your mind and senses by hearing and chanting. These lusty desires will be put aside.
तो यदि आप ब्रह्मचर्य जीवन का पालन करते हैं और नियमित रूप से श्रवण कीर्तन में ध्यान लगाते हैं तो ये सब काम वासना की इच्छाएं जो है वो हमारे हृदय से चली जाएंगी.
Common people, they associate with all kinds of nonsense movies and nonsense magazines and glossy pictures, and they look at things which just simply make them more and more lusty.
तो जो साधारण व्यक्ति हैं वो इस तरह के कार्य करते हैं, जैसे मूवी देखना, इस तरह की पिक्चरें देखना, इस तरह की चीजें करना जो उनको और ज्यादा कामुक बना देते हैं.
And in the brahmachari ashram, you don't look at these kind of things, you don't hear these kind of things. We simply hear shastra.
और ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम में आप इस तरह की चीजें नहीं देखते हो, इस तरह की चीजों के बारे में नहीं सुनते हो, आप केवल वहाँ पे शास्त्रों से चर्चा करते हो.
So in this way the lusty desires will decrease.
तो इस तरह से हमारा जो कामुक इच्छा है वो कम हो जाएगा.
Out of sight, we have a saying, we say out of sight, out of mind.
तो इस तरह से कहावत है कि अगर कोई चीज से हम दूर हैं तो हमारे मन से भी निकल जाएगा, नजरों से दूर होगा तो मन से भी दूर हो जाएगा.
If you don't see all of these kind of things, just like the average Bollywood movie will have some rape scene or some love scene or something like that, which will simply increase the lusty desires of the common people.
तो महाराज बता रहे कि इस तरह की चीजें अगर आप नहीं देखेंगे, नहीं सुनोगे, क्योंकि एक जो साधारण बॉलीवुड मूवी है उसमें कोई प्रेम का, कोई रेप का, इस तरह का कुछ ना कुछ इस तरह के सीन रहते हैं जो कि हमारे कामों की इच्छाओं को बढ़ाएंगे, तो इससे दूर रहना होगा.
But in Krishna consciousness, we don't waste our time watching these kind of things, or reading these kind of literatures, we look to scriptures and we hear from the scriptures.
तो कृष्ण भावनामृत में हम अपना समय बर्बाद नहीं करते इस तरह की किताबें पढ़कर या फिर मूवी देखकर, हम शास्त्र पढ़कर अपने समय का सदुपयोग करते हैं.
So the effect of hearing regularly from the scriptures is the mind becomes peaceful and we can focus on transcendental knowledge.
तो शास्त्रों से अध्ययन करने का जो नतीजा है ये है कि हमारा मन शांत हो जाएगा और हम आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान पर उस पर अपना ज़्यादा ध्यान डाल पाएंगे.
And the lust and the anger and the greed which is there in the heart is all cleansed away through bhakti yoga.
तो जो हमारे हृदय में काम, क्रोध और जो लोभ है वो भक्ति योगा की रेगुलर प्रैक्टिस से सब दूर हो जाएगा. थैंक यू महाराज.
Tadarajastamo bhava kamo lobodayaschaye cheta iteranavidam stitam sattve prasidati. When the lust and the anger and greed are removed from the heart, then the modes of passion and ignorance are also removed, and one can come to the stage of goodness. And
तो महाराज बता रहे कि काम, क्रोध और लोभ ये सब हमारे हृदय से निकल जाता है, फिर हमारा तमोगुण और रजोगुण से भी हम मुक्त हो पाते हैं और सतोगुण में स्थापित होते हैं.
So we have to want to clean the heart. We have to know what things to do and who to hear from and who to associate with.
तो हमारा तीव्र इच्छा होना चाहिए कि हमारा हृदय शुद्ध हो. हमें पता होना चाहिए कि हमें क्या करना है, क्या नहीं करना है, किससे सुनना है, किससे नहीं सुनना है, किसका संग करना है.
If you sit and watch movies and watch television, then definitely you become affected by these things.
यदि आप बैठकर मूवी देखोगे, टीवी देखोगे तो निश्चित रूप से आप इससे प्रभावित हो जाएंगे.
If you neglect to do daily chanting and to worship the Lord, if you neglect the association of devotees, then certainly lusty desires will become stronger in the heart.
यदि आप नियमित रूप से जप करना और या फिर भगवान की सेवा आराधना करना या फिर भक्तों का संग को अगर आप निग्लेक्ट करेंगे तो कामों की इच्छा हमारे हृदय में और बढ़ जाएगा.
And when these material desires become stronger in the heart, then you start to criticize devotees and you start to find fault with devotees.
तो जब हमारा इस तरह का भौतिक इच्छाएं बढ़ जाएगा तो हम भक्तों की निंदा करने लगेंगे, उनमें हम कमियां देखने लगेंगे.
So this is a common phenomena. We see this in devotees who are weak in their spiritual practice.
तो ये साधारणतः देखा जाता है उन भक्तों के जीवन में जो अपनी आध्यात्मिक प्रैक्टिसेस में कमजोरी से करते हैं उसको.
They simply find fault with devotees. They can't see good in them.
वो केवल भक्तों के अंदर कमियां देखते रहते हैं, वो उनके अंदर अच्छाई नहीं ढूंढ पाते हैं.
So their spiritual progress becomes less and less.
तो उनका आध्यात्मिक प्रगति धीरे और धीरे होता जाता है.
And they're more prone to material activities.
और वो भौतिक गतिविधियों में और ज़्यादा लग जाते हैं. Thank you, Maharaj. Sometimes when we study scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam, we read it like any other story book. And sometimes we are in right mood or consciousness, we feel bliss while reading them. How to be in constant relishing mood while reading the scriptures? तो भक्त का प्रश्न है, कई बार हम श्रीमद् भागवतम इत्यादि जब शास्त्र पढ़ते हैं तो हम उसको एक स्टोरी किताब की तरह पढ़ते हैं और कई बार हमें बहुत अच्छा लग रहा होता है जब हम पढ़ते हैं, हमारी चेतना बहुत अच्छी होती है. तो ऐसा कैसे कर सकते हैं कि हमेशा हमारा ऐसा चेतना रहे कि हम जब पढ़ें तो हमें उससे खूब आनंद आए?
Well, Srila Prabhupada points out that more important than just reading yourself is to meet with other people and to discuss and to explain the meaning of the scriptures.
तो महाराज बता रहे हैं कि श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने हमें बताया है कि शास्त्रों को केवल पढ़ने से ज़्यादा अच्छा है कि दूसरे भक्तों के साथ बैठकर उस पर चर्चा किया जाए और दूसरे को उसके बारे में बताया जाए.
Oftentimes you can be reading and you were not reading very carefully, and nothing, we don't remember what we read and nothing seems to go in very well. So just reading on your own, you have to really make an effort to study what you're reading.
तो महाराज बता रहे कई बार जब हम खाली अपने से पढ़ते हैं तो हम कई बार उतना अच्छे से नहीं पढ़ पाते और हमें उसमें काफ़ी एफर्ट लगाना पड़ता है, कई बार समझ नहीं आता है, याद नहीं रहता है, तो काफ़ी प्रयास करना पड़ता है.
When we read, it's good to make notes, and sometimes, and it's even better that after you've read or while you're reading, that you explain to other people and you discuss with them what you're reading.
और कई बार ये अच्छा रहता है कि आप पढ़ते समय नोट्स बनाएं और कई बार पढ़ने के बाद या फिर पढ़ने के समय आप उसको जब दूसरों को भी एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हो, समझा रहे हो, तो वो बहुत मदद करता है.
So after you've read something, you can write down some notes about what you've read, summarize the message of the content that you've been reading.
तो आप जब पढ़ाई कर लेते हो तो उसके बाद आप उस पूरे जो आपने पढ़ा है उसका सारांश के उसके आप छोटे नोट्स बना सकते हैं कि आपने क्या पढ़ा.
Yeah, so like this you can improve the quality of your reading.
तो इस तरह से हम अपने शास्त्रों को पढ़ने की क्वालिटी को और अच्छा कर सकते हैं. Thank you, Maharaj. The devotee has asked, seeing your conviction, even if you and like others with such deep conviction followed an Indian philosophy, Krishna consciousness, do we really need a major jolt to have that deep conviction, or we can have it with daily smaller jolts?
Do we really need what?
Do you really need a major jolt?
Jolt.
Yeah.
In order to?
To have that deep conviction, or we can have it with daily smaller jolts.
Jolt.
So भक्त ने पूछा है कि आपका जो इतना तीव्र कन्विक्शन है कृष्ण भावनामृत के प्रति और ये एक भारतीय फिलॉसफी है कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस, तो क्या इसके लिए जीवन में कुछ विशेष झटका, कुछ विशेष परिस्थितियां आई, या फिर साधारण जीवन की परिस्थितियों में भी ऐसा बड़ा परिवर्तन हो सकता है?
Well, first of all, you should understand Krishna consciousness is not just an Indian philosophy.
सबसे पहले आपको ये समझना होगा कि कृष्ण भावना में जो है ये भारतीय फिलॉसफी नहीं है.
Yeah, Krishna consciousness is Sanatana Dharma, it's the eternal religion, and it has nothing to do, you can say it's Indian.
तो कृष्ण भावना में जो है सनातन धर्म है, आप ऐसा नहीं कह सकते कि ये भारतीय है.
It has some connections, you could say, with Hinduism, but at the same time, Krishna consciousness is the natural science of self-realization, which is meant for people of all nationalities, of all races, everywhere.
तो महाराज बता रहे हैं कि हिंदू जो धर्म है उससे उसका कुछ संबंध तो है, लेकिन कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस जो है वो सभी देशों के, सभी लोगों के, सभी बैकग्राउंड के लोगों के लिए वो फिलॉसफी है.
So I don't know what you mean when you say a jolt. You need a jolt. I don't think the jolt is quite the right expression or the right term to describe us coming into Krishna consciousness.
तो महाराज कह रहे हैं कि ये जोल्ट शब्द जो आपने यूज किया है ये शायद ये उतना उपयुक्त शब्द नहीं है कि, और ये नहीं समझ आ रहा है कि आप उससे क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं.
Everything is explained in the Bhagavad Gita.
सब कुछ भगवत गीता में बताया गया है.
So Lord Krishna describes there are 4 reasons why people take up Krishna consciousness.
तो भगवत गीता में बताया गया है कि 4 तरह के लोग जो वो लोग कृष्ण भक्ति को अपनाते हैं.
Chaturvarnam maya shristam guna हमसे go chatur Chaturvida bhajante mam jnana sukritino Arjuna arto jignasur artarthi jnani cha bharat ashama. There are 4 reasons why people take up spiritual life. First of all, distress, and then people are in search of wealth, people are inquisitive, and some people are in search of knowledge.
तो महाराज बता रहे कि भगवत गीता में बताया गया कि 4 तरह के लोग जो हैं वो भगवान के पास आते हैं, जिसमें जो लोग बहुत धन चाहते हैं, जो बहुत हताहत हैं, डिस्ट्रेस्ड हैं, जो जिज्ञासु हैं और जो ज्ञान अर्जित करना चाहते हैं.
So in the world today, most people, a lot of people are in distress. Material life is a lot of distress.
तो इस भौतिक जगत में बहुत सारे लोग कष्ट में हैं. ये भौतिक जीवन कष्ट वाला जीवन है.
So many people, many of us, we come to just in Krishna consciousness with some kind of distress.
तो हमारे में से बहुत सारे लोग कृष्ण भक्ति से जुड़ते हैं क्योंकि कुछ कठिनाइयों के थ्रू हम जा रहे होते हैं.
But we also, people also can be inquisitive and just simply inquiring, what is this? Can you tell me more? We like to hear, we become curious, we see the devotees and we want to associate with them, become attracted by them. So that kind of inquisitiveness can also bring us to Krishna consciousness.
तो महाराज बता रहे कि दूसरा जो है जिज्ञासु लोग जो है वो जानने के लिए कि ये देखते हैं कि इसमें क्या है, उसको समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. तो भक्तों से थोड़ा एसोसिएशन होता है, संग होता है, उनको कृष्ण भावना में बड़ा आकर्षित करने वाला लगता है. तो इस तरह से भी वो कृष्ण भक्ति में आते हैं.
And then we get people everywhere in the world. There are people with material needs. And they see devotees and they think, well, those devotees, they have a house to live in, they have cars, they have nice food, maybe I should join them.
तो और इस तरह से पूरी दुनिया भर में इस तरह से लोग हैं जो देखते हैं कि भक्तों के पास घर है, कार है, ये सब सुविधाएं हैं, तो मैं भी उनको ज्वाइन कर लेता हूँ.
So certainly people with material desires may be attracted to Krishna consciousness.
तो भौतिक इच्छाओं के साथ भी लोग कृष्ण भावना में से आकर्षित हो सकते हैं.
And we see Dhruva Maharaj, he had material desires and he took up Krishna consciousness.
हमने देखा कि ध्रुव महाराज के अंदर भौतिक इच्छा है लेकिन उन्होंने कृष्ण भावनामृत को अपनाया.
And then you've got people also in search of knowledge who really want to develop more spiritual knowledge, and they like to come and hear and read the books and discuss the philosophy.
तो और इसके अलावा हम देखते हैं कि बहुत सारे लोग जो है उनको आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान की खोज होती है, वो आते हैं, वो कुछ पढ़ते हैं, सुनना चाहते हैं.
So everyone who comes to Krishna consciousness, they have to come to the platform of knowledge. Otherwise, they will just give up Krishna consciousness.
तो जो भी भक्त कृष्ण भावनामृत से जुड़ते हैं तो उनको इस ज्ञान के धरातल पर आना होगा, नहीं तो कुछ समय बाद वो छोड़ भी देंगे उसको.
Somebody's in distress. After the distress is gone, then they say, "Okay, I'm going to go now."
कोई बहुत कष्ट में होता है इसलिए भक्ति करने लगता है, फिर थोड़े समय बाद जब कष्ट खत्म हो जाता है वो बोलते हैं अब मैं जा रहा हूँ.
We had the one young man, he had a quarrel with his girlfriend and she got angry with him and got rid of him and he was very distressed. So we preached to him and we got him to chant and he stayed around for a few days. But after a few days he said, "Well, I've got to go now."
So इस तरह से
another girlfriend.
इस तरह से कोई युवा व्यक्ति थे, उनका अपनी गर्लफ्रेंड से झगड़ा हो गया, बहुत दुख में थे. हमने उनको प्रचार किया और फिर वो कुछ माला जप करने लगे और फिर कुछ दिनों बाद वो चले गए. उन्होंने बोला मेरे को दूसरी गर्लफ्रेंड मिल गई है.
And you get people who are in search of wealth. And some people, they become devotees and then somebody offers them a job. They say, "Why don't you come and work for me?" You know, they're selling books and the man says, "Why don't you come and work for my company? You can be a salesman in my company, I'll pay you." So they give up selling Krishna conscious literature and they take a karmi job.
और कई बार भक्त लोग जो हैं वो धन के लिए आते हैं, और कई बार भक्त इस तरह से बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इत्यादि सेवा में लगे होते हैं, और फिर बाद में कोई उनको बाहर का आदमी देखता है, कहता है कि अरे आप बड़े अच्छे सेल्समैन हैं, आप मेरी कंपनी में आ जाइए, तो वो सेवा छोड़कर फिर वहाँ पे उस भौतिक नौकरी करना चले जाते हैं.
And the curious person, he may have so many questions, but after a while he doesn't have any more questions, so he doesn't come anymore.
और खाली अगर कोई जिज्ञासु होगा, शुरुआत में उसके पास बहुत सारे प्रश्न हो सकते हैं, लेकिन कुछ समय बाद हो सकता है उसके बाद कोई प्रश्न ही ना बचे, तो फिर वो आना भी बंद कर देगा.
The one man was coming and it seemed like he's going to be a nice devotee, he had so many good questions, then he didn't come anymore. We wondered what happened. When we met him, he said, well, I have no more questions.
तो एक व्यक्ति था, वो बहुत अच्छे अच्छे क्वेश्चन पूछता था, हमें लगता था बड़ा अच्छा भक्त बन जाएगा. कुछ समय बाद उसने आना बंद कर दिया. हमने पूछा क्या हुआ, तो उसने बताया कि मेरे सारे क्वेश्चन का उत्तर मिल गया, मेरे को और कोई प्रश्न ही नहीं बचे, इसलिए मैं नहीं आ रहा.
So like that, people, unless one comes to the platform of knowledge, it's not going to be fixed in Krishna consciousness.
तो यदि कोई व्यक्ति ज्ञान के धरातल पर नहीं आ जाता है, तो हम समझ सकते हैं कि कृष्ण भावनामृत में भी पूरी तरह से वो फिक्स नहीं हुआ है.
That's why everyone has to study the Krishna conscious literature. They have to learn the philosophy.
इसीलिए सभी को कृष्ण भावनामृत का जो ग्रंथ है उसको पढ़ना होगा, उस सिद्धांत को समझना होगा.
Now in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Bahum nam gyanmanamante gyanavamam prapajante. That by the path of knowledge, you progress slowly. It can take many lifetimes. And such a soul is very rare.
तो महाराज बता रहे कि भगवद गीता में बताया है कि ज्ञान के मार्ग पर चलते हुए जो प्रगति है वो बहुत धीरे होती है, और उसमें कई जन्म लग सकते हैं.
So we're not just studying knowledge just to get knowledge, but we want to get devotion. It's devotion which is really important. And if we practice the process of bhakti, then along with our practice of devotion, we will automatically get knowledge and detachment.
तो यहाँ पर हम जो ज्ञान अर्जित करने की बात कर रहे हैं वो केवल शुष्क ज्ञान नहीं है. यहाँ पर हम भक्ति की बात कर रहे हैं, और जब हम भक्ति की गतिविधियों को अच्छे से पालन करेंगे तो उसमें हमें ज्ञान और वैराग्य ये दोनों स्वतः ही उत्पन्न होगा.
Coming to Krishna consciousness, one should not be too much attached and one should not be too much detached.
भक्ति में आते हुए किसी को बहुत ज़्यादा अटैच या बहुत ज़्यादा निरासक्त नहीं होना चाहिए.
We heard the nice example the other day from Rukmini Krishna. He was explaining about what was it? The one man, one devotee. His Guru Maharaj told him, "You're not qualified." He wanted sannyas, but his Guru Maharaj told him, "You're not qualified. You're too hard-hearted."
तो महाराज बता रहे कि उस दिन हम रुक्मिणी कृष्ण प्रभु जी से सुन रहे थे एक भक्त के बारे में कि जो भक्त अब उनके गुरु महाराज ने उनको बोला कि आप सन्यास के लिए अभी उपयुक्त नहीं हैं, आपका हृदय बहुत कठोर है.
So coming to Krishna consciousness, we have to cultivate the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. We have to study the Shastras. Everyone has to come to class. We have to hear regularly.
तो महाराज बता रहे कि कृष्ण भावनामृत में जब आते हैं तो सबको ये आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान चाहिए, सबको क्लास में आना चाहिए और नियमित रूप से श्रवण करना चाहिए.
Everyone has to do the ISKCON disciple course. That's very fundamental knowledge.
सभी भक्तों को IDC ISKCON डिसाइपल कोर्स करना चाहिए. इसमें बहुत धरातल वाला सारा ज्ञान है.
You have to learn what is the proper process of selecting the spiritual teacher.
आपको उस कोर्स में समझने को मिलेगा कि आध्यात्मिक गुरु को चयन करने का उपयुक्त विधि क्या है.
Right? Prabhupada also explains in Chaitanya Charitamrita that when we come to Krishna consciousness, the first thing to do is to take shelter of Srila Prabhupada.
श्रील प्रभुपाद जी भी चैतन्य चरितामृत में इस विधि के ऊपर बताते हैं। तो हम पहली चीज़ जो हमें करना है भक्ति में आके वो श्रील प्रभुपाद जी का शरण लेना है।
And we should understand that the purpose of spiritual initiation is to give us a stronger connection to Srila Prabhupada.
और आध्यात्मिक दीक्षा का जो उद्देश्य है ये हमें समझना चाहिए कि हम श्रील प्रभुपाद जी से और ज़्यादा घनिष्ठता से जुड़ पाएं।
And we have to hear from different devotees, and in course of time some devotees will become more prominent and give us regular instruction.
और हमें कई सारे भक्तों से श्रवण करना चाहिए और समय के साथ साथ हम देखेंगे कि उन सभी भक्तों में से कोई एक भक्त होंगे जो ज़्यादा हमारे जीवन में जिनका प्रभाव और जो हमें निर्देश देने लगेंगे।
So from the devotees who are giving you regular instruction, one person will become more prominent, and that person should become the Diksha Guru.
और वो भक्त जो आपको निर्देश दे रहे होंगे, कुछ भक्त उसमें से जो सबसे ज़्यादा आपके जीवन में महत्वपूर्ण हो जाएंगे वो भक्त हो सकते हैं आपके दीक्षा गुरु।
So this kind of fundamental, this knowledge is very important, very basic, but it's often forgotten about.
तो इस तरह का ये जो बेसिक ज्ञान है ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है, लेकिन ज़्यादातर बार भक्त इसको भूल जाते हैं।
Go ahead.
Thank you Maharaj. The devotee has asked in Hindi, गुरु पूजा, संध्या आरती या कोई अन्य वैष्णव भजन में कई बार गाने वाले भक्त अपने से कुछ ऐड कर देते हैं, इसको कैसे समझें? आचार्य ने उस भजन में जो नहीं लिखा वो गाना चाहिए या नहीं? So Maharaj, the devotee has asked, sometimes devotees add some things in the Guru Puja or Sandhya Arti or Vaishnav Bhajan, they add some words or some sentences. So if some Acharya has already sung that song, is it appropriate to add something there?
Well, it depends what they're adding.
यह निर्भर करता है कि वो क्या ऐड कर रहे हैं।
I don't. Sometimes, especially in Bangladesh, you know, when they do kirtan there, they may add some things just to enhance the kirtan, just like in the Gaur Arti. In the course of singing Gaur Arti, sometimes they add some words which help to, you know, to increase the pleasure in the kirtan.
तो महाराज बता रहे हैं कि कई बार भक्त विशेष रूप से अगर आप बांग्लादेश के भक्तों को देखोगे तो वो गौर आरती इत्यादि कीर्तन में कुछ ऐसे शब्द और लाते हैं जिससे उस कीर्तन का मधुरता, उसका और प्रभाव और बढ़ जाता है।
The Gaura Arti song is one good example of this, where words can be added.
विशेष रूप से गौर आरती का जो कीर्तन है इसमें ये देखा जाता है कि कैसे भक्त उसमें और ऐड करते हैं।
It's a technique in kirtan.
ये कीर्तन का एक विधि है।
Okay.
Thank you Maharaj. If my junior god sister, who is junior to me in age or are more advanced in devotion, please suggest how should I get association of them, because they always hammer me in face and at sorry Maharaj, they are neglect. I shall read again. If my god sister who is junior to me in age are more advanced in devotion, please suggest how should I get their association, because they always hammer me in face and the back, they are neglecting me. How should I serve them?
Well, why don't you go and associate with somebody else? If they're giving you so much difficulty, if they're hammering you and making your life so difficult, why you want to associate with them?
तो महाराज बता रहे कि ऐसा भक्त जो आपको इतना परेशानी दे रहा है और टॉर्चर कर रहा है, तो फिर उसी का संग ही क्यों करना चाह रहे हो? कोई और भक्त का संग कर लीजिए। Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, the devotee has asked, why do we feel hate towards those whom we haven't even talked properly or are not our friends, but also we feel a bad feeling and hate towards them? So भक्त पूछ रहे कि ऐसे लोगों के प्रति भी कई बार ईर्ष्या हो जाता है जो हमारे नज़दीकी नहीं है, तो ऐसा क्यों है?
Well, that is not devotee feeling. Devotees should feel compassion on all living entities. Why are you feeling hate for people? This is not Krishna consciousness.
तो महाराज बता रहे कि ये भक्तों का विचार नहीं है, ये कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस नहीं है. भक्त तो हमेशा दूसरों को कंपैशन, करुणा से देखना चाहते हैं.
Devotee has to see all living entities as spiritual beings, spirit souls, and be compassionate on them and think how to help them to be more Krishna conscious.
तो भक्त जब भी किसी दूसरे जीव को देखता है तो उसको आत्मा के धरातल पर देखता है और उसको कृष्ण भावनामृत में आगे बढ़ने के लिए मदद करने के लिए चाहता है.
Devotees shouldn't hate people.
भक्त दूसरों से ईर्ष्या नहीं करते, नफरत नहीं करते.
We may hate the sin, but not in the Christian Bible they speak about the sin and the sinner. So the person who does the sin. So we should hate the act of sin, but we don't hate the person who is doing the sinful things.
तो महाराज बता रहे कि बाइबल में ये कहावत कही जाती है जिसका मतलब है कि हम उस व्यक्ति से घृणा नहीं करते जो पाप करता है, हम केवल पाप से घृणा करते हैं.
Rather we think how to help them, how to elevate them and get them free from their bad habits.
इसके विपरीत प्रयास हमारा ये करते हैं कि कैसे उनकी मदद की जाए और कैसे उनका जो बुरी आदत है उससे उनको छुड़ा सकें. Thank you, Maharaj. What should be the right attitude of hearing Krishna Katha? Sometimes it seems that from whom I am hearing the class in the temple, I am unable to put submissive mood about hearing. तो भक्त बता रहे कि जब क्या मूड होना चाहिए. कई बार ऐसे भक्तों से हम सुनते हैं उनके प्रति श्रद्धा नहीं रख पाते हैं श्रवण में.
Well, you have to chant good rounds, then sit and hear the class.
आपको अच्छी जप करना चाहिए, उसके बाद क्लास बैठ के सुनना चाहिए.
If you come to class without chanting rounds, then it might be difficult for you to focus on the class.
यदि जप किए बिना आप क्लास में आके सुनते हैं तो आपके लिए शायद मुश्किल होगा क्लास पर फोकस करना.
So Prabhupada's morning program was after Mangal Aarti we chant japa for 2 hours.
तो
afterwards then there's class.
तो शिला प्रभुपाद जी का जो मॉर्निंग प्रोग्राम इस तरह से है कि मंगल आरती के बाद हम 2 घंटा जप करते हैं, उसके बाद क्लास होता है.
If you have not been chanting regularly, then it will be difficult for you to sit and hear spiritual knowledge.
यदि आप नियमित रूप से जप नहीं कर रहे तो आपके लिए मुश्किल हो सकता है बैठकर आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान को अर्जित करना.
We should actually prepare ourselves for hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam.
हमें श्रीमद् भागवतम के श्रवण के लिए अपने आप को तैयार करना चाहिए पहले.
Right, we have Mangal Aarti. It's a meditation on the Guru and Krishna.
तो पहले मंगल आरती होता है जिसमें गुरु और कृष्ण पर हम लोग ध्यान अर्पित करते हैं.
Then we worship Tulsi Maharani.
उसके बाद तुलसी महारानी की सेवा
करते हैं. Then we chant japa for 2 hours.
फिर 2 घंटा जप करते हैं.
Then Guru Puja.
फिर गुरु पूजा करते हैं.
Then we sit and hear Srimad Bhagavatam.
फिर उसके बाद हम बैठकर श्रीमद् भागवतम सुनते हैं.
And to prepare for hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, you should familiarize yourself with the verse. You can chant the Sanskrit verse, which we do at the beginning of the class, and you should read the verse or hear the verse and hear the purport carefully.
और श्रीमद् भागवतम की कक्षा को अच्छे से समझने के लिए वो जो श्लोक है उससे हम ज़्यादा अवगत हो सकते हैं. वो संस्कृत श्लोक को बोल सकते हैं या उसको सुन सकते हैं और उसका जो परपोर्ट है श्रीला प्रभुपाद जी का उसको पढ़ सकते हैं.
Before coming to class, we would like to look over the verse ourselves and think, what is the verse going to be discussed today? And look over it and read it and see how much we understand and what questions we may have about it.
तो श्रीमद् भागवतम की कक्षा से पहले ही एक बार हमें उस श्लोक पर कि जो श्लोक उस दिन पढ़ाया जाने वाला है उस पर हमें थोड़ा उसको पढ़ लेना चाहिए, देख लेना चाहिए उस श्लोक में क्या है, और उस समय ये भी समझ आएगा कि इसमें मुझे क्या प्रश्न हो सकते हैं और वो प्रश्न हम पूछ सकते हैं फिर.
So like that we have to prepare ourselves for Srimad Bhagavatam.
तो इस तरह से हमें अपने आप को श्रीमद् भागवतम श्रवण के लिए तैयार करना होगा पहले.
I remember one man told me, he said when he was a young man, a young boy, his father insisted that before he would read the Bhagavad Gita, he must take bath. First take full bath and then read the Bhagavad Gita.
तो महाराज बता रहे हैं कि एक व्यक्ति ऐसे बोल रहे थे कि जब वो छोटे थे तो उनके पिताजी उनको बोलते थे कि भगवत गीता पढ़ने से पहले नहाना जरूरी है.
Right, it's a kind of mental purification.
ये एक तरह से मानसिक शुद्धिकरण है.
So you want to hear spiritual knowledge, we have to put ourselves into the right condition.
तो आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान अर्जित करना चाहते हैं, पहले हम अपने आप को एक सही परिस्थिति में लाना चाहेंगे.
And that's externally and internally.
वो बाहरी रूप से भी और आंतरिक रूप से भी. Thank you, Maharaj. I am connected to ISKCON from past few years. Definitely there are some realizations and many experiences, but many things appear far-fetched reality, like the mood of pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada, Narottam Das Thakur, and many pastimes of the Lord. I do not know whether I will be able to go home back to Godhead. I feel helpless. So भक्त ने पूछा है कि मुझे कृष्ण ISKCON में आए हुए कुछ कई साल हो गए हैं और कई सारे मुझे अनुभव भी हुए हैं और कुछ एक्सपीरियंस हुए हैं, लेकिन कई सारी चीज़ें मेरे को लगता है बहुत ऊपर की है मेरे लेवल से. शिला प्योर डिवोटीज़ का मूड, नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर का मूड और कई भगवान के ऐसे लीलाएं, तो मुझे नहीं समझ आता है कि मैं भगवत धाम जा पाऊंगा कि नहीं.
Yes, but Krishna consciousness is just so nice. Why would you want to go anywhere else?
लेकिन कृष्ण भावना में कितना अच्छा है, और कहीं जाने की क्या सोच सकते हैं.
The material world is so terrible, so horrible, so many terrible things going on in the material life. The life of the devotee is so glorious and so wonderful that even if it's not true, even if we don't go back to God, we're having a very enjoyable, satisfying time in Krishna consciousness.
तो महाराज बता रहे कि भौतिक जगत जो है उसमें कष्ट ही कष्ट है, उसमें सब कुछ इतना कठिन है, परेशानी देने वाला है, लेकिन भक्तों का जो संग है, ये भक्तों का जीवन है, ये बहुत आनंद वाला है. यदि भगवत धाम नहीं भी जा पाते हैं तो जो हमारा अभी का जीवन है वो भी कितना सुंदर है.
What would we be doing if we were not practicing Krishna consciousness?
अगर हम कृष्ण भक्ति नहीं कर रहे होते तो अभी क्या कर रहे होते हम लोग?
Playing cricket,
क्रिकेट खेल रहे होते,
watching television,
टीवी देख रहे होते.
So many mundane things to waste the life.
और इतनी सारी फालतू की चीजें अपने जीवन को खराब करने के लिए.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Maharaj. During the Parikrama, what should a devotee do and think? Can a devotee chant? I can't do the chanting attentively, soulfully during Parikrama. How could it be attentive? तो भक्त का प्रश्न है, परिक्रमा के दौरान जप करने में उनको कठिनाई होता है attentive, तो कैसे कर सकते हैं?
Yeah, I agree with you that it's very difficult to chant during the Parikrama.
मैं आपसे सहमत हूँ कि परिक्रमा के दौरान जप करना मुश्किल होता है काफी.
So you have to get up early and chant before the Parikrama.
तो आपको सुबह जल्दी उठना पड़ेगा, परिक्रमा शुरू होने से पहले जप करना चाहिए.
Yeah, sensible devotees, serious devotees, they wake up, 2 o'clock. There's a lot of people there taking bath 2 o'clock in the morning.
तो देख सकते हैं कि कई सारे सीनियर भक्त जो है, वो जो सीरियस भक्त हैं, वो सुबह 2 बजे उठ जाते हैं और आप 2 बजे जाओगे तो देखोगे बहुत सारे भक्त नहा रहे हैं वहाँ पे.
They get a couple of hours of japa in before Mangal Aarti.
और कई सारा मंगल आरती से पहले कई सारा जप कर लेते हैं वो.
So it's a good time to chant.
तो ये अच्छा जप का समय है.
But once the Parikrama begins, it's very difficult.
एक बार परिक्रमा शुरू हो जाती है तो फिर बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है. थैंक यू महाराज. This question, no, sorry. Back 10 years, I had fortune to associate. This is for Kavichandra, specifically for Kavichandra Maharaj. He says so. He's just. Hare Krishna Maharaj, the devotee has asked, is it possible to reach Krishna Prem in one life, and what kind of mentality is required? How to develop faith towards the lotus feet of my spiritual master, शिक्षा गुरु एंड अदर वैष्णवास. इस जीवन में कृष्ण प्रेम को कैसे प्राप्त कर सकते हैं और अपने गुरु, शिक्षा गुरु और वैष्णव के प्रति कैसे विश्वास बढ़ा सकते हैं?
Yes, it's possible to go back to Godhead in this one lifetime.
इस एक जन्म में भगवत धाम जाना संभव है.
How to develop faith in Guru and Sadhus?
गुरु और साधु में विश्वास कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं?
By association.
संघ, एसोसिएशन के द्वारा, संघ के द्वारा.
By service.
सेवा के द्वारा.
Sushrushrosha dadanasya Vasudev Kataruchi Shanmahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. By serving devotees who are free from sin, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity for hearing the message of Vasudeva. In other words, by serving the devotees, you develop more faith.
तो महाराज बता रहे कि ऐसे भक्त जो पाप से बिल्कुल मुक्त हैं, ऐसे भक्तों की सेवा करने से एक महान सेवा होती है, और ऐसे भक्तों की सेवा करने से भगवान की कथा श्रवण करने में हमारी रुचि बढ़ती है.
Mahat sevam dwara mahur vimuktes. By serving the devotees, it opens the doors to liberation.
भक्तों की सेवा करने से मुक्ति के द्वार खुल जाते हैं.
So you associate with the senior, with a senior devotee, do some service for them, and you develop more faith.
तो आप वरिष्ठ भक्तों का संग कीजिए, उनका कुछ सेवा कीजिए, और इस तरह से आप अपना विश्वास उनमें और बढ़ा सकते हैं.
They will bless you. They will, if they are satisfied with your service, they will bless you to progress more in Krishna consciousness.
तो यदि वो आपकी सेवा से संतुष्ट होंगे, आपके व्यवहार से, तो आपको आशीर्वाद देंगे कि आप कृष्ण भक्ति में आगे बढ़ें.
And they will help you to have more faith in the process.
और वो आपको मदद करेंगे कि कृष्ण भक्ति में के जो विधि है उसमें आपका और दृढ़ निश्चय हो जाए. थैंक यू महाराज. हाउ टू ओवरकम अट्रैक्शन फॉर ऑपोजिट सेक्स. आई थॉट आफ्टर मैरिंग इट वुड लूज, बट इट डिड नॉट लूज. इंडीड इट इंक्रीज्ड इवन मोर आफ्टर मैरिज, बोथ विद इन एंड आउटसाइड द मैरिज. प्लीज हेल्प मी महाराज. तो मैंने सोचा था कि विवाह के बाद काम इच्छा कम हो जाएगी, और बढ़ गई है.
Well, you have to become attracted to Krishna.
आपको भगवान से आकर्षित होना होगा.
You know, there's a pastime. Ramanujacharya was with his disciples one day, and they saw this young couple. And the young man was completely infatuated with this attractive young woman who was his wife. And he was just absorbed and looking at the face and the attractive features of his wife. And Ramanuja and the devotees, they were shocked when they saw them. So Ramanuja asked the young man, and he said, "Come with me, let's come with me." He said, "I want to show you some beautiful person. You know, you're so attracted to the eyes of your wife. Come and see this other person and see his eyes." So he brought him to the temple of Lord Ranganath and showed him Lord Ranganath.
तो महाराज बता रहे कि श्रीपाद रामानुजाचार्य जी का एक ऐसा लीला है जिसमें उनके वहाँ पर कुछ कोई व्यक्ति जो है वो अपनी स्त्री की आंखों की तरफ, स्त्री के प्रति बहुत घनिष्ठता से आकर्षित था और उनको वही देखना अच्छा लगता था। जब श्री रामानुजाचार्य ने पूछा तो उन्होंने बोला कि यही मुझे सबसे सुंदर चीज़ लगता है। तो रामानुजाचार्य ने उनको बोला कि आप आइए, मैं आपको और एक सुंदर व्यक्ति से मिलाता हूँ, और फिर उन्होंने रंगनाथ जी के दर्शन कराया उनको।
And then the man became so, oh, it was so wonderful. He became so attracted to the beauty of Lord Ranganath. He became a great devotee.
और वो भक्त रंगनाथ जी की सुंदरता से इतना आकर्षित हो गए, भगवान से इतना आकर्षित हुए कि एक महान भक्त बन गए।
So the beauty of the opposite sex is very temporary. We have to see these things with the eye of knowledge.
तो जो सेक्स अपोजिट सेक्स का ब्यूटी है वो बहुत टेम्परेरी है और ज्ञान के चक्षु से हमें इस सब चीजों को देखना चाहिए।
Young people, well, they're young. Of course, young people look attractive, but as they get older, they're not attractive anymore.
तो जब युवा होते हैं तो हाँ आकर्षित लगते हैं लोग, लेकिन जैसे बूढ़े हो जाते हैं फिर कहाँ आकर्षित लगते हैं।
So that attraction for the physical body, that is so stupid.
तो ये शरीर से जो हमारा आकर्षण है वो बिल्कुल मूर्खता है।
And Srila Prabhupada told the story about liquid beauty.
श्रीला प्रभुपाद जी ने लिक्विड ब्यूटी की स्टोरी सुनाई।
The young man was attracted to the beautiful woman, and the woman felt shocked. The woman said, "Oh, please, look, I'm a married woman. My husband's away from home just now. Please don't talk to me like this." But the young man was very persistent. So the woman told him that you come back after a week and I will satisfy your desires.
तो इस कथा में एक युवा व्यक्ति एक माता जी से बहुत आकर्षित हो जाते हैं और वो माता जी उसको बताती हैं कि आप मेरे से इस तरह से बात मत कीजिए, मैं एक विवाहित स्त्री हूँ, मेरे पति अभी बाहर गए हुए हैं। तो लेकिन जब वो व्यक्ति ज़्यादा उनके पीछे पड़ता है तो बोलती हैं कि ठीक है, एक हफ्ते बाद आप आना।
So for 1 week this woman took purgatives and did different things so that she passed stool and vomited, and everything that came from her body she collected them and kept them in containers.
तो ये जो युवा स्त्री थी, इन्होंने एक हफ्ते तक कई तरह के पर्गेटिव्स, कुछ और ऐसी चीज़ें खाई जिससे उनको खूब सारा मोशन हुआ, खूब सारा उल्टी हुआ, और उन्हें जो भी ये सब कुछ निकला उनको एक बाल्टी में इकट्ठा कर लिया।
And then after 1 week the lusty man came back, but he was asking, "Where's that beautiful woman? Where's that beautiful woman I saw last week?"
तो एक हफ्ते बाद जब वो कामुक व्यक्ति आया तो उसने बोला, कहाँ है वो सुंदरी स्त्री जिनको मैं एक हफ्ते पहले मिला था।
And the woman who had been taking all the purgatives, she had become very thin and emaciated, and her, eyes were hanging out the sockets, and she said, "I'm that woman, it's me." And he said, "You? How could it? No, it couldn't be you." She said, "Yes, that was me." So then he said, "Then where is your beauty?"
तो एक हफ्ते बाद जो व्यक्ति वो आया तो उसी स्त्री से मिला और उसके बोला कि कहाँ है वो सुंदरी स्त्री। तो उस समय वो सुंदरी स्त्री जो है बहुत कमज़ोर हो चुकी थी, उनकी आंखें बाहर लटक रही थी, शरीर कमज़ोर हो गया था। तो उन्हें बोला, मैं ही ये सुंदरी हूँ। तो उन्होंने बोला, आप वो हो तो वो आपकी सुंदरता कहाँ गई?
So the woman said, "Oh, my beauty," and she took him and she showed him these containers which were all smelly and so this woman, she was very enlightened, and she enlightened this young man about the nature of the material beauty.
तो उन्होंने कहा कि हाँ, ये दिखाती हूँ आपको वो ब्यूटी, और उनको ले गई और वो बर्तनों में जिसमें वो सब मल इत्यादि इकट्ठा किया था और वहाँ पे खूब जोर से स्मेल आ रहा था। तो इस तरह से वो जो माता जी थी वो बहुत उच्च कोटि का उनका चेतना था, और उन्होंने अपनी चेतना से उस व्यक्ति को भी ये शिक्षा दिया।
This material beauty is a very temporary thing. You will lose it very quickly.
तो ये जो भौतिक सुंदरता है बहुत क्षणभंगुर है, बहुत जल्दी खत्म हो जाने वाला है।
But people are infatuated, they're in the bodily consciousness, they will spend so much time and money to try to make their body look attractive.
तो लोग इससे बहुत ज़्यादा आकर्षित हैं, उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा अपना पैसा टाइम लगाते हैं सुंदर दिखने के लिए.
Realization will start.
Okay.
और कितना है?
हाँ?
और कितना है? हो गया? हो गया?
अभी है लगभग 150 हो रहे हैं.
Okay, so we want to start hearing some realizations now. We're hoping we'll have the visit of Jayapataka Swami Maharaj in a little while.
Hare Krishna. So we want to thank Maharaj for his wonderful association and the nectarian question answer session by loudly chanting Hare.
That's all. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In other way, Hari Bol and Hari Dhwani and Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Ulu Dhwani. Come on, yes. Get up fast. Write down some names. 2 mics.
What names?
Serial order.
What names?
Their names.
The name who want to make an offering. Not everybody, not everyone will want to make an offering.
No, if you say like that, they will give whatever they want. Everybody won't give at all. So who want to come first?
Jayapataka Swami likes to know what you like, what you didn't like, what things are good, what things are not good. It's very helpful for them in developing the Parikrama.
Every time some improvement is there.
Yeah,
By your feedback.
every year, because of the feedback, every year the Parikrama has improved and different changes have been made and improvements have been made in the camps especially, you know. They've improved a lot every year, so many improvements. You can use your own language, you don't have to use English, you can write, you know, if you're Hindi speaking, we have translators. If you want to write in Russian, we have Russian translator, right? So every language, it's okay. She experienced Rath Yatra at Puri one day, but here it was 8 days. While you're living in the Western world, you're spending time in the Western. You should know in the Western world, you know, women and men are pretty much equal. I know Russia, they have a different mood, you know. Women in Russia, their position is somewhat subordinate to the man, right? More. If you're not married though, you're saying that you're not married. If you were married, you would not. Huh? Oh. Anyway, we have to give some rights to the women, that they also have to, they like to lead kirtan, and certainly in Prabhupada's time, Prabhupada also let women lead and asked them to lead, do things.
Okay, Prabhuji side, Prabhuji side.
Now it's on. Now it's, huh? Yeah, we have to admit sometimes some of the artists were very loud. Thank you very much. Thank all of you. Tolerate my English.
Thank you, sir.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaji. Thank you very much. Yes, we have. We don't have sannyasis available because there's 7 parties out. So many of the sannyasis, you know, they're going to the other parties where there are more people. We're one of the smaller parties. The Hindi party, the Bengali parties, 4 Bengali parties, they're all twice as many devotees as we are. They're all having more than 2,000 people. So the sannyasis, you know, most of our sannyasis also are Hindi speakers or Bengali speakers, so they prefer to address the Hindi and the Bengali audience. Thank you, Prabhu. We'll answer some of your criticisms just now. Please wait. One thing is that if you go to the website, sridhammayapur.com, you'll see photographs of each of these holy places on each of the islands. Each of the islands are documented, and there are photographs there of the deities available there. So, and also many of these places, they don't allow you to take photographs. So we don't encourage devotees to be taking their own pictures of the deities. They don't like people coming in and taking photographs in the temples. It's not really the proper mood. Photographs there, online, on the website. And you don't need to be bringing your cameras in and taking pictures. So we don't want to encourage that. And as far as the garbage goes, you know, after each party leaves, there's a group of people who come, who clean up everything. They collect all the garbage and they take it all out. So that every place where we stop and where we're taking prasadam and that, it is carefully cleaned. All the plastic bottles, all the litter, everything is all collected. There are people assigned to do that. So we're trying to keep the dham clean. We do have programs to work on keeping the dham clean. It's not an easy job, but there's many different ways. Devotees are going around, they're talking to local people, encouraging them to separate their garbage and to give the plastic, and we do have some program for recycling the different plastics which are there. Plastic bags have been banned in Mayapur. They're not allowed to use plastic. They have other kinds of bags now which are dehydratable. So we are trying in many ways to keep the dham and to improve the dham, to make it more cleaner than it usually is. It's a big job though. You've got so many people coming, visiting every day. So it's a lot of work. But what happened one time, a very big man in the government came to visit Mayapur, and he'd been traveling around the whole different Bengal, looking at different towns. He came to Mayapur and he was shocked. He said, "How do you do it?" He said, everywhere else I've been, there's garbage everywhere. Your place is the cleanest I've ever been. It's cleaner than any place we went. So we're really trying. We're really conscious about cleanliness, and we're trying to improve. We want to make the dham very nice and try to make it green, right?
So many foreigner devotees are there. They go for dham take up all the dirty things.
Yeah, Prabhu is saying many foreign devotees have taken on the responsibility to clean up the roads, and they're spending their own time and money to do these kind of things, cleaning the dam. So we're very grateful to them for their efforts. As far as separating the men and the women and having separate lines, well, it's a bit difficult. The places are so small, you know. Like Nishringapali, you know, there's one little door. You're going to have a line for women and men, you can't do it. You know, there's only one little door. So in some ways it's just not possible to have separate lines for men and women. If you have a big altar like in Mayapur, then you can do it. Anyway, there's always... It's nice that you had these suggestions though, you had these points. Oh. Thank you. Okay, Mataji, go ahead. Yeah, chairs are available. There were chairs always at different places, but no tables were there, you know. We'll try in the future, we'll think about if we can have tables. Okay, thank you very much, Prabhu. Now it's getting late, and Jayapataka Maharaj definitely come now, it's already late. So we don't want to keep everyone up too late.
How many are left? This side? 2 are there. 2 left.
Харе Кришна, дорогие преданные, примите мой поклон, пожалуйста.
Харе Кришна. I'm translating. It doesn't work. Hare Krishna. Oh, sorry. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada.
Ома Кеванти Мирандасия Геманчана Шлакая, Чакшрун Милитамина, Тасмай Шри Гуравея Намаха. Ванчакала Патагупешча, Крипасин Бева, Чарапатитанам Павани, Биовышна, Бионамонама.
Quick.
Побыстрее, пожалуйста.
Хотела поблагодарить каждого из вас, кто сюда пришел. Я почувствовала семью.
I want to thank you, to share my gratitude for your association. I felt being in a family.
Хочу поблагодарить Бхактивигнана Нарасимха Махараджа. Благодаря Махараджу я поняла, что за личность Шрилы Прабхупады, какое он сострадание имел к каждому.
I want to thank you, Maharaj, Vigna Vinasha Narasimha Prasad Maharaj, for the sharing about Srila Prabhupada and his compassion that he had to all living beings.
Будучи представителем Шрилы Прабхупады, я видела и наблюдала, как он к каждому относится как к душе, имеет сострадание и любовь к каждому.
Being a representative of Srila Prabhupada, I could see how Maharaj relates to every living being as a spiritual soul and shares great compassion towards them.
Ни одну минуту он не тратит просто так. Каждую минуту он хочет служить преданным Гуру и Кришне.
He did not waste any minute, and he wanted to use all his time to serve people, Guru and Krishna.
Для меня это большой пример. Я очень благодарна за этот пример.
For me, it is a great example, and I'm very grateful for this example.
Пожалуйста, если я кому-то доставила беспокойство или как-то обидела, прошу меня простить.
I'm asking for your forgiveness if it disturbed anybody.
Пожалуйста, благословите меня, чтобы я могла каждый год проходить до конца жизни и проводить много-много людей и преданных.
I'm looking for your blessings for coming here again and again and bringing other people to this Parikrama.
What's your name?
Как вас зовут?
Рангаdevi Devidasi.
Рангаdevi Devidasi.
Okay, last offering.
Okay. So,
last realizations rather, not offering, realizations. Thank you all very much. Srila Mayapur Dham ki.
Do that night glow. Padmavati Mataji is performing.
Okay.
All can turn that side. There is some night glow is there.
There's a light show for everyone. At the back.
Language, you don't have to use English, you can write, you know, if you're Hindi speaking, we have translators. If you want to write Russian, we have Russian translator. So every language is okay.
Hare Krishna. The realization, first you will speak, you will tell your name and from which country you are. Okay? And Matajis from other countries will give. Indians also will be there. Other countries also likes to hear. Guru Maharaj likes to hear that.
Thank you very much. Very nice. Everything is complete.
Харе Кришна, спасибо вам большое. Я посещаю Парикраму уже 8 раз.
Well, you're living in the Western world, you're spending time in the Western world, so you should know in the Western world, you know, women and men are pretty much equal. I know Russia, they have a different mode, you know. Women in Russia, their position is somewhat subordinate to the man, right?
No.
More.
No. No, not subordinate.
If you're not married, you're saying that you're not married. If you were married,
So I know married, a lot of married people, couples. Not subordinate. Men subordinate more.
Huh?
Men subordinate more than women. Women, mostly women are in charge in family.
Anyway, we have to give some rights to the women. That they also have to, they like to lead kirtan. And certainly in Prabhupada's time, Prabhupada also let women lead and asked them to lead the things.
Okay, from this side. Now from this over.
Krishna.
ऊपर का वो स्टैंड थोड़ा ऊपर का अरे कितना माता जी स्टैंड थोड़ा ऊपर स्टेट कर दो
Hare Krishna, Navadwip to all of you. I'm from Germany and this is my first Parikrama. I'm very, very grateful for this opportunity and for this great privilege. For me it was absolutely amazing and mind-blowing because I've been staying in Mayapur now for almost 5 months, but it was completely different to come on this Parikrama. It just gave me a completely different perspective and feeling towards this town. And I was especially meditating on the fact that the Islam is built by Srimati Radharani, and I think if you want to realize it at all, this Parikrama is such a great opportunity because it actually gives you this feeling towards it. And for me as well, as Prabhu mentioned, it was amazing to meet all the locals who were just so joyfully standing on the side and greeting you with Hare Krishna and were eager to get the books, and they were just so kind-hearted. And yeah, the Islam classes are a great source of inspiration for me, and And another thing is that
very well. Hare Krishna Maharaj. My name is
Jayapataka Maharaj definitely not going to come now, it's already late. So we don't want to keep everyone up too late.
How many are left? This side? Two are there.
What's your name?
Ранга Деви Девидasi.
Okay, last offering. So, last realizations rather, not offering, realizations.
So, Hare Krishna, the devotees, Hare Krishna, senior devotees.
What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Shamasundar, Dr. Shamasundar. I'm from Sweden. And this is my first time on the Mandal Parikrama, and also my first time in India since I was 6 years old, which I don't even remember, so it's basically my first time. And it's been a wonderful time here at Navadwip Mandal Parikrama. First, to share some realizations that when starting the Parikrama I didn't know what to expect, and I was, first days a bit uncomfortable, it was austere, you know, and I was not completely well, and but I had decided I'm going to make this I'm really going to absorb, I'm not going to be using my phone, I'm going to chant extra, read extra, try to be, really make a good time out of this time. But after some days I realized I'm starting to slack, I'm not so attentive, and maybe lectures I couldn't really absorb myself in. And then Bhaktivinoda Maharaj, he was telling in one lecture sometimes that sickness, it's just Maya, testing you. And that night I just thought, okay, maybe Krishna is testing me with this sickness, and I decided, okay, tomorrow I'm going to sit at the forefront in the lecture, I'm going to try to take notes of everything, chant really good japa, not just here and there. And since that day, that was maybe the last 4 days, it was such a difference in the Parikrama. And now I don't want to leave. The last day I'm going back to Sweden tomorrow, and I'm feeling so much more connected to Mayapur, and I feel really that the Parikrama really opens the Dham and gives appreciation for Chaitanya, for his associates, with Leela, and it was just so fantastic to be able to make like a turnaround of something that was seemed to go down, and I was feeling, when is it going to be over? But it became such a joyful, and now I don't want it to be over. And some feedback. As I said, I came, not knowing what to expect, and then international group. But then I was a little bit surprised to see so less, people from maybe Europe, America, Australia, mainly Indian community, and they also part of the world international group. But I think that for next year, that one could try to advertise, increase, try to bring more Westerners, make it more international. And so that's just a small feedback, and otherwise I seek forgiveness if I committed any offense, and all the blessings of all the Vaishnavas. In my temple we also have Shri Panchatattva here in Mayapur, so it's very special for me to be here, and I feel so much more connected now with Panchatattva, and going back there feels very exciting also, preaching. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you all very much. Okay, There's a light show for everyone at the back.